Solution is right in front of our eyes. Get up, do something. Mhc on the rise. Think positive. Oh, we gotta stay positive. Yeah. We can learn to love each other. Like my sister and my brother. Mhc on the rise.
Good evening, Martinsville and Henry County. Welcome to Mhc on the Rise, where it's our goal to create positive conversation and find solutions to the issues that impact Martinsville and Henry County. And as many of you know, bullying is something that, it's a term that we often hear in schools and when we deal with, young folk and teenagers. And I have two ladies here tonight who, on a daily basis, they either address bullying, they have complaints about bullying, or they are, having conversations on ways to prevent bullying. And I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to have a conversation about bullying prevention. And we'll start here.
Good evening. I'm Cheryl Flood. I am a middle school counselor at Laurel Park Middle. Have been in the counseling field here in Martinsville for almost 18 years.
I'm Cynthia Harris. I am a school counselor at Laurel Park Middle School, and this is actually my first year as a school counselor and as an employee with Henry County Schools.
And awesome. And I get the privilege to work with these two young ladies every day, and they're awesome at what they do. But we do have an age difference here, and I want to ask, because I know that bullying, for me growing up, it was not as common of a term as it is today, but in your life, in your time in education, how has the term bullying evolved?
Okay. Well, I'll start. When I was growing up, or when I was in school and in middle school, you didn't hear the term bullying that much. It's not that the behaviors were not there, but we didn't term it as bullying. Kids picked on each other, kids teased each other, they called each other names, but it was almost like in the day, kids had the skill to work it out. And there was no prolonged interruption in the relationship between the kids, so they never called it bullying, it was just picking on. But now it has the term, the behavior has a term, and it's more prominent now.
Mm-hmm. And you, being a little bit younger, how has the term bullying evolved?
Well, when I was in elementary school, middle school, and high school, bullying was a term that we were taught at a young age, and it was something that we were familiar with. And to me, a bully, when I was in school, a bully was someone that was a bad kid, stayed in trouble, just going around hitting people. It was more of like the physical aspects of a bully. Whereas now there's technology that's more accessible to students, whereas when I was in middle school, technology was getting there, but you couldn't access Facebook or social media on your cell phone. And so now, with that happening, it makes it easier for, bullying to go from just an physical interaction to more of, social and online aspect of bullying.
And of course, with the technology, it makes it more difficult for you all because there are things that happen outside of school. It may have happened even, far, far away, but it somehow seeps into the school, and then you all are, as counselors, sometimes have to address those issues.
Counselors and investigators sometimes, because when it does happen outside of school, we don't have the background information. It happens there, but it works its way into our schools.
Correct.
And so we're a counselor and investigator.
Exactly. And one of the things that one of our goals tonight is to get a clear definition of bullying. And I don't want this to be misperceived, misconstrued, or misinterpreted, but every incident that happens is not bullying. And it's important for people to know that. And I think the only way to do that is to, one, give a definition of bullying, and then we're going to list some of the other negative behaviors that take place that are still bad, but may not be at the level of bullying. So let's start off with, what exactly is bullying?
Okay. Well, bullying is defined as behavior that is on purpose, it's repeated over time, and it involves an imbalance of power. And what I mean by that is that it's done on purpose. So the purpose of bullying is to cause someone harm in a variety of different ways. And it's repeated. It's not just a one-time thing where someone says something that's mean. No, bullying, it's targeted, and their aim is to repeat this behavior over and over towards the same individual. And it involves an imbalance of power, because those who bully, they seek a position of high power, and they aim to exert that power over someone else, whether it be physical power or using their social status to bully others.
And sometimes, I think the two things that we want to focus on, some behaviors are just rude. And Doug, I don't know if we can throw that slide up that has the definition of rude on it, but we want to talk about what rude behaviors are versus, bullying. And Doug's got it up here. Talk a little bit, Ms. Flood, about that rude behavior.
Well, we're defining rude behavior as accidentally saying or doing something that hurts feelings or embarrasses someone. And he can go on if he wants.
And you can move on to the next slide, Doug.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, it involves inconsiderate and thoughtless behavior, unplanned behavior, bad manners, only thinking about yourself, and behaviors that are not meant to actually hurt anyone. They're just rude. Say if you cough in someone's face, you didn't mean to. So with rude behavior, you would simply apologize, ask for forgiveness, and you move on. There's no lingering negative relationship there.
And then you have mean is another term that's often, I guess, people sometimes mistake for bullying. And let's talk about being mean.
Well, mean, the difference here is that with mean behavior, you're doing it on purpose. It's getting closer to bullying. You're doing it on purpose, but the thing is, you're not doing it often. It's not a repetitive behavior. It may be done once, maybe twice, but it's not done over and over again.
Okay.
He can go to the next
Okay, we can go to the next part of that, Doug.
Okay, and as it says, sometimes it's, you can say things in anger to hurt someone's feelings, but you usually feel bad about it later. And again, you may go to that person and ask for forgiveness.
And then we have some examples of what mean looks like.
Right. It's criticizing or making fun of someone's clothes or their looks or their intelligence or skin color, their language, or it can even involve breaking or stealing others' belongings.
Okay, thank you, Doug. And we know that rude and mean could eventually lead to
Absolutely.
bullying.
Absolutely.
But why is it important that our audience know that there is a difference in rude, mean, and bullying?
Simply because every behavior is not bullying. And we can make a distinction with that. When we talk to students, when we ask questions, we have to determine whether this is something that just happened once. It may upset the student, and it may happen once, but it's not, it's just, it may be rude or mean behavior, but it's not bullying. It's not at the point where it's bullying. If they come and tell us, well, this student has been doing this to me for the last 6 weeks, then yeah, then that's something we look at because there's a pattern there, it's repetitive, and there is that imbalance of power there when you're talking about bully and their target. I don't use the word victim, I'd rather use the word target because victim implies hopelessness. And I don't use that word. But let me clear something up. When we talk about bullying, we are not labeling the student. We're not saying that you are a bully, even though we may say bully here on this set. We're talking about behavior and behavior only, because behavior can be changed, behavior can be modified, and that's what we're in the business of doing. No one should get the impression that we're labeling or you are a bully now because you've been bothering this kid for so long. No, you're exhibiting bullying behavior, and that's what we're going to work on.
So we're looking at the behavior, the action, versus labeling a kid,
Right.
as a bully or as a bad kid or anything of that nature. And how should kids or students report bullying, and who should they report it to?
Okay. Well, we have different ways that students can report bullying. At school, they are encouraged to tell their teachers, tell counselors, coaches, administrators, and if they're not quite comfortable with doing that, we do have boxes in the different hallways for each grade level where they can write a note for a counselor. They can describe what happened, and they can choose to leave their name, or they don't have to leave their name if they want to be anonymous, or for safety reasons. So they can do that, and we check those boxes about 2 or 3 times a day. So they're checked regularly, and if they don't feel comfortable with speaking about what happened, they're welcome to write it down and drop it in those boxes.
Okay, and then what if, like, I have a 7-year-old, and she comes home sometimes and she tells me stuff about this or that. There's never been at a point of bullying, but if I had suspected that, or if a parent was to suspect that their child might be getting bullied at school, what would be their best way of conveying that message to you all as counselors?
Right. Well, we encourage parents to call us, and they do. We have to work with families to solve the problem. Sometimes we don't always know the extent of a bullying situation. I had a parent call last week to report what was happening with their child. And if she had not called, I wouldn't have known the extent of the bullying. So it's wonderful when we work with parents to solve the problem. But that's why I encourage, if your child comes home and complains of anything happening at school, they may not tell us, but they are comfortable in telling their parent. Please call us. Please call us and let us know.
Awesome, and we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and talk more about, ways to prevent bullying and, the roles that we all as administrators, counselors, parents, and students play and can play in preventing bullying. Martinsville, Henry County, we'll be back in a couple minutes.
The solution is right in front of our eyes. Get up, do something. MHC on the rise. Think positive. Oh, we gotta stay positive. Yeah. We can learn to love each other. Like my sister and my brother. MHC on the rise.
Hi, I'm John. I'm the pharmacist here at Rocky Mount Family Pharmacy. We'd like to invite you to come visit us and get all your prescription needs and healthcare needs filled here. We save you money on your prescriptions. We offer free delivery. We offer a family atmosphere, and we treat you like family. We're located in the Schul Shopping Center on Route 40 West, like you're going to Ferrum here in Rocky Mount. That's 1165 Franklin Street. And our phone number is 489-5400, and that's area code 540. Come see us today.
September will be the month to remember for getting the best deal on a new car at Blue Ridge Nissan in Martinsville. That's right, get rid of that old car you've been driving and save up to $7,500 right now at Blue Ridge. Plus, with our guaranteed credit approval, you're guaranteed to be driving home a new car today. Don't wait around and let someone else get the deal you deserve. This deal ends when 75 people have saved thousands. Blue Ridge Nissan in Martinsville, across from the Speedway on Greensboro Road, or visit theblueridgeway.com.
Have you seen Hendricks Lawn Care and Landscaping Service in your neighborhood? They are the affordable answer, providing residential and commercial lawn care with industry certified staff for applications, landscaping design, irrigation, and lighting needs. For discounts and free estimates, follow them on Facebook.
Give my dad a call, 806-8477. My dad will get it done right.
You're watching BTW 21, your neighborhood network, the pride of Martinsville. Jerry's Pizza now offers a private meeting room. That's right, for parties and family get-togethers. Hot, delicious pizza made fresh with fresh ingredients. Daily specials, and now offering a Saturday night dinner buffet. Jerry's Pizza, the best lunch buffet in town. Call your order in ahead of time at 638-3990. The drive-thru is open for your convenience. Never get out of your car. Call 638-9009.
I'm Hector right here at Tire Riders. I got the best prices on these Falcons 80,000 mile tires or the best prices on new tires. Come by and see me at 115 West Church Street, Martinsville, Virginia, or call me at 806-2952 or 806-6092. Thank you, and hablamos español.
The solution is right in front of our eyes. Get up, do something. MHC on the rise. Think positive. Oh, we gotta stay positive. Yeah. We can learn to love each other. Like my sister and my brother. MHC on the rise.
Welcome back, Martinsville and Henry County. I'm here with Miss Cheryl Flood and Miss Cynthia Harris, and we're talking about bullying prevention, and we talked about several different things prior to the break, but want to make sure that we talk about the different types of bullying. And Miss Harris, if you would list those different types of bullying.
Okay, well, there's 4 different types of bullying. You have your physical bullying, which is causing physical harm, or using, hands, feet, or, exerting physical force on someone to cause harm. That could be kicking, punching, pinching, poking with a pencil, anything that would cause bodily harm to someone else. And then you have verbal bullying, which involves use of words or writing intended to hurt someone's feeling or cause isolation. And this is a constant thing, and it's repeated. And then you have relational or social bullying, which involves using a friendship status or different social interactions to isolate or cause harm to another person. And then you have your cyberbullying, which involves using social media, Facebook, Instagram, or even some of these newer apps such as Kik and Snapchat to cause harm or isolate an individual.
Okay, and hearing those different types of bullying, I know that it's difficult, one working in school, but I know also for you all as counselors it's difficult because you have to, be very savvy in handling each of those different types of bullying, getting all the information, determining whether it's bullying. Ms. Flood, what are some things that schools can do, and what are some things that you're doing to prevent bullying?
Well, when we find out that bullying is taking place, and usually it's more than one student in the building who's experiencing bullying, we do group outings. We've not gone into classrooms yet because it's early in the year. But one thing that Laurel Park did, and I thought was such a great idea, we had grade level assemblies so that every child in the building was made aware of what bullying is, how to distinguish between mean behavior, rude behavior, and bullying behavior. Because as we said, and as we told our kids, not all behavior is bullying. And then for every grade level, we presented them with certain statements and asked them, after we had explained the difference and the definition of each, and we asked them to tell us, is this rude behavior, is this mean behavior, or is this an example of bullying behavior? And if you don't mind, I'd like to give you a couple of statements. One of the statements that we asked, now this is the entire grade level, we're asked, what if someone calls you a name? Is that rude behavior, mean behavior, or is that bullying? And of course, hands go up, and they say it's mean behavior. And it is, and you ask why. It's mean behavior because it's not reached the bullying status yet because it's not repetitive. This person called your name today or last week and has not done anything since then. So that's mean behavior. Another example of mean behavior, you move away from someone who wants to sit or work with your group. That's mean behavior, and that's what we call, if it continues, that's what we call excluding someone from a group. But if that happened once or twice, it's mean behavior, it's not bullying behavior.
Okay.
An example of rude behavior, we ask them, someone steps on your shoe or your heel in line. It's rude. They didn't mean to do it. It wasn't on purpose. It only happened that once. They apologize it's over. That's rude behavior. Getting in front of someone in line, jumping in front of someone in line, rude behavior.
Okay.
Now, bullying, we asked them, we read the statement, telling someone every day that they don't have any friends. And the key word in there is every day. So that tells me that it's behavior that's happening, it's repetitive behavior, and after a while you consider that bullying behavior. And then the last bullying statement we make someone cry whenever you can. That imbalance of power again, and whenever you feel like it, you make someone cry through your words or your actions. That's bullying behavior. So we made sure that everybody was exposed to the difference, the definitions of these three words, and then presented them with statements, and they did pretty well.
You know, I think it would be so awesome if those were uploaded to the guidance department's website and parents could go look at those with the answers, because oftentimes as a parent you hear stuff and because your child told you they're being bullied, you assume that that's bullying, but if you had a reference point like that, you could go look at it, or even the questions, you know, parents could ask questions, you know, how many days has this happened, how many times has this happened? They could help to categorize that, and I think it's also important that parents should still contact the school, even if it was a one-time incident, contact the teachers, you know, because we don't want it to grow into a bullying situation. The earlier that we as a school system hear about it, the sooner we can address it. What are some other things that, you know, counselors can do to reduce bullying?
Well, in addition to that assembly, and actually at the assembly, those grade level assemblies, we spent a good portion of that time talking about empathy. And what empathy is, it involves the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes and feel what they feel. And so we spent some time teaching our students about that, because we feel like that's such an important skill. It's important to be able to put yourself in someone else's position and understand what it may feel like to be put in those situations. In addition to that, at the individual level, when I am counseling students, we talk a lot about tolerance. And that involves, you know, you may not like everyone. There may be people that are different from you, but you have to tolerate them. You have to get along with them. You have to respect them. And then also I spend some time talking about conflict resolution, because what sometimes happens is you have two students and there's some kind of miscommunication or misunderstanding, and that sometimes is the cause of some students claiming that they are bullied, or it leading into a situation where there is bullying. So kind of, you know, talk about that before it gets more involved in the bullying aspect.
Okay. Kind of on the spot, but what are things that students can do to help? I know, you know, you're saying things that we can talk to students about, but what are things that students can do to help prevent bullying throughout the school?
Well, one thing that the person who is being bullied can do, and we tell kids this all the time. First of all, you can ignore it, you can walk away. It still hurts, but you can walk away and tell an adult, any adult in the building, teacher, counselors, administrator. But we also say sometimes you can kind of trip the bully up by responding, not in a negative way, because then you're almost at a fight level. You don't want to match comments with the bully, but to say something funny or off-center to the bully, to kind of throw that person off-center, because you got to realize the objective of the bully is to upset you or to make you uncomfortable. So if you come back at them, if they would to say to you, well, you know, where did you get those shoes? Where did your mom buy those shoes? And you would say, don't know, but I like them. You know, something as simple as that, and then you keep moving. That sort of throws the bully off balance. So that's what we encourage them to do. We also encourage other students who are what we call bystanders, who may watch bullying taking place, to have them interact too. Now, sometimes they're not in a position where they can stop it, but they can, once it's over, they can comfort that person or talk to that person, and just let them know that they're not alone. And as always, report it. Always report it.
Awesome. And I know one thing, and I think we'll talk more about this later, but it's the mix it up, where they ask the kids to mix it up at lunch and sit with somebody who you normally wouldn't sit with. And, sometimes just getting to know people, definitely helps with the bullying piece. What advice would you give parents of a child who is reporting being bullied?
I would say just begin those conversations with your child. The more information that you get from them, the better that we can help them. And also, I would advise parents to monitor things such as social media and even some of the apps that students can download on their phones. Because even if someone doesn't have their number, they can still contact them through the apps that they download on their phone. So I would strongly advise parents to monitor what is going on their student's cell phone.
And you ladies have given us some really, really good information tonight. Parents, I encourage you to, listen to this information, follow up on it. The counselors, administrators, schools definitely listen to this. But we're going to get away from the bullying we have about a minute left. And I want to know why you two ladies are a big deal. Why is Cheryl Flood a big deal?
A big deal?
A big deal, yes ma'am.
Why am I a big deal?
Why are you a big deal? Give me a chance to brag on yourself.
Oh, wow. Okay, this was totally unexpected. I want folks to know. I think, if I'm going to use that term, I'm a big deal because, for one thing, I love my profession. But more than anything else, and this is not a big secret, I love Laurel Park. And I love being there. I love our students. I love our parents. So that's what makes me professionally a big deal. Okay. I enjoy what I do.
Okay. And Ms. Harris, why are you a big deal?
Well, like Ms. Flood, I enjoy my profession even though I'm just getting started. But a lot of the things we discussed tonight happened to me in my life, while I was in school, and that kind of influenced my career choice. I wanted to be a counselor because of that, so I can help students that, at the time when I was going through it, I didn't necessarily have that help. So I know what it may feel like, and that's why I enjoy being a counselor, and this is what I want to do.
Awesome. I appreciate you two ladies coming on and sharing some of your professional expertise on a topic that's growing, that is at a point where a lot of kids come to school. Some kids don't come to school. Some kids are afraid when they come to school. Some kids shy away and they go eat lunch by themselves. Especially on the high school level. That they don't talk to anybody during the course of the day. They feel intimidated. And I'm not just speaking Laurel Park. I'm speaking of the 8 different schools I've worked in my career. So it's real. We have to take it as real. And anytime something is perception, it's that person's reality. So people may think it's rude. They may think it's bullying, but it may be rude or mean. But we have to get them to understand that there is a difference and help them to still navigate through that situation because it still may be affecting them. And you guys are doing a great job at Laurel Park. Our students are blessed to have you. Martinsville, Henry County, let's definitely heed this advice, and let's have a great week, and let's keep doing the things to keep MHC on the rise.
The solution is right in front of our eyes. Get up, do something, MHC on the rise. Think positive. Oh, we gotta stay positive. Yeah. We can learn to love each other. Like my sister and my brother. MHC on the rise.
September will be the month to remember for getting the best deal on a new car at Blue Ridge Nissan in Martinsville. That's right, get rid of that old car you've been driving and save up to $7,500 right now at Blue Ridge. Plus, with our guaranteed credit approval, you're guaranteed to be driving home a new car today. Don't wait around and let someone else get the deal you deserve. This deal ends when 75 people have saved thousands. Blue Ridge Nissan in Martinsville, across from the Speedway on Greensboro Road, or visit theblueridgeway.com.
Martinsville Family Dentistry would like to invite you to experience Zoom. Zoom is a customized whitening experience that's created to make you look your best, give you dynamic results with a whiter, brighter smile in less than an hour. Over 10 million people have benefited from Zoom professional whitening treatment and have experienced the way a radiant smile can improve their self-confidence and their overall happiness. Patients have reported 5 to 8 shades whiter smile in just an hour. Martinsville Family Dentistry is taking new patients, so stop our office at 25 Cleveland Avenue, Suite A in Martinsville.